So I want to take it back to when I had disconnected. Uh, and when I mean disconnected, I mean like I redirected my focus from outside of me towards inside of me. And that wouldn't have been possible had we not moved away from everything and everyone. We moved to a very, very quiet town in Long Island. And sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I just came upstairs. I was cooking dinner. Um, Let me catch my breath for a quick second. So yeah. And when I say it wouldn't have happened had we not moved, is because I was already very distracted. In order for me to really redirect my focus towards myself, I would have had to really spend enough time with myself to pay attention to the signals that were coming from my soul and to really listen to my own thoughts without anybody or anything to influence it. So Glenn had an opportunity and we moved. And I'm not afraid of change. I'm always really open to changing. It was the way I grew up. I could pick up and drop anything very quickly and start fresh. It depends also because some things is harder to let go and start fresh, which is why I'm making this video, because we're so attached to our external environment and everybody and everything that's being exposed to us, whether it's our friends, social media, whatever that pretty much whatever that is outside of us that's making tons of noise and keeping us entertained and away from our own thoughts and conscious. So let me start off by saying that was extremely hard. Once we left, I would never forget, we dropped everything and just fucking went. And it was so quiet, so lonely. I spent a ton of time crying, a ton of time, feeling very bad because I only had myself. I didn't have anybody to run to anymore. I didn't have any friends, you know, and I had not yet cut them off. Or let's say not cut them off, because they're not just some objects you just get rid of. They're human beings. I had took my own path and went in my own direction. When I did that, it was months into the year of 2019. Even though I had went far away, I still had contact with them, and I would sometimes go and hang out with them. And I noticed that every time I would hang out with them or I would need them was when I was feeling really, really bad, really lonely. I was going through things with Glenn. I would just rush for comfort, rush for distraction, rush for, you know, pretty much run away from my thoughts, run away from me and my feelings. So I caught on to that, and I'm like, wow, I don't miss these people when I'm good. I don't want to communicate with them. There's nothing to talk about when I am good. But when I'm bad, I seem to always run to them. I always seem to find comfort, vent, mostly vent. And that's what I was, realizing. I came to that realization. So when I made the decision to pretty much cut everybody off, it was just so hard because I had to spend a lot of time with myself. I had to really think, and it was so many thoughts that were just drowning me. Mostly emotions. It was mostly programmed emotions that I have spent my whole life with, based on previous experiences and circumstances that I went through. So it was a lot of emotions that I was really paying attention to that were very magnified. Emotions that I no longer could just brush to the side or just distract myself with. I started going to the gym. I spent a lot of time trying to motivate myself. Glenn was also motivating me. I would make videos for myself on the good days so that I could watch myself on my bad days and remind myself that I am not my pain. I am not who I think I am when I'm feeling negative, when these thoughts are trying to, take over my soul and my mind and make me feel like I'm unworthy. So I would constantly make videos for myself, which will release soon. so you guys can hear myself talk to myself and give myself pep talks and talk to my future negative self that would surely show up within the next couple of days, or who knows, maybe hours. But I made sure to talk to myself for that, for when that moment arrived, and so that I would have some form of support, even though I didn't have it with friends, or I didn't want to overwhelm Glenn because it's too much, it's too much. He's a human being. And he actually, crazy, he was the one that gave me the idea to create videos for myself and, uplift myself through my own videos. So, yeah, that was big. I dedicated myself a lot to the gym, which helped a lot with my energy levels. I was running and I was exhausting myself. I was overcoming my mind. And then one day I said, wow, I studied in nursing school, and I learned so much about the body. I can't even begin to explain. And what I'm learning now even more about, science and the human body, it's insane. So I was learning a lot, and I was like, wow, the mind is very powerful. What if I started just making the decision to do more than I think I could do, and just make the mental decision to do so? I want to see how much control my thoughts and my mind has over me. So I started to set limits for myself, break limits. But I started with 9 miles. I ran to my gym and back, which resulted in 9.6 miles or something like that. Once I did that, I was like, wow, I usually can't run more than 3 to 4 miles. It's, pretty much like out of nowhere, because I could train for that and I could do it, but to just be so out of shape and to just make the decision as soon as I got back in the gym and say, look, I'm gonna run 9.6 miles, and that's the decision, and you got no choice, body. You have to adapt. That was very big, and I did it mostly to prove to myself that the mind is my only limitation. The body is much more powerful in action than we could ever imagine, and it's really all about making a decision. So I made that decision. I ran my 9.6 miles. I was like so impressed. I was so proud of myself. But, it's a big journey. I'm still battling a lot of things. So I was just entertaining myself with these physical performances that I was doing. And sure, soon enough, I said, hey, tomorrow I'm running half a marathon. I'm running 13.2 miles, and nothing is going to get in my way. I'm going to just wake up, take my, drink my protein shake, whatever it is that I need, drink a bottle of water. I'm out. So once I left the door, I said, God, I am not stopping. So give me all the strength that I need to get through this. Instantly, I thought about one of my fallen comrades, Serena. I had no idea that Veterans Day was right there, or Memorial Day, I mean. I had no idea. And I just thought of her. I didn't know what the occasion was, but she came to my mind, and I used her as a form of inspiration to do these 13.2 miles, because we lost her at war. She drove over a bomb, and she had a daughter. She was very young. She's the most sweetest, most vulnerable soldier I have ever met, and she had a lot of heart above everything else. A lot of heart, and I wanted to dedicate that to her for many reasons that I do not want to get into in this video, but she holds a very special place in my heart because she taught me a lot about my bad qualities as a human being, which I learned so much from. And so I didn't get tired at all for the whole 13 miles. Well, I wouldn't say the whole 13 miles. My last 2 miles out of the 13 miles, I think I was at 11 point something miles. I was exhausted. But I realized that that's the same thing that happens every time I'm running, whether it's 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles. I'm always getting tired at the last mile or 2 miles into, the running. And it's like, how can my body just be so weak at the end? And I started to, it's not my body, it's my mind. So I overcame so many obstacles during this time that I had gotten away from everything. um it was difficult. It was so lonely. I lost everything. Like, I lost my mind. I stopped caring about myself. I stopped thinking I had anything to do in life. I just felt like I was just occupying space. I didn't feel like I had any purpose. I knew what I loved to do, which was communicate with human beings and make other people feel better and give them all of my wisdom that I know will help them as much as I know it will help me, or has helped me. But I didn't feel like me being that and being a contributor to that was going to do anything for my life or for the world, because so many people are doing it. So why do that? So I really felt worthless. I had to give myself a lot of pep talks, like for example, girl, you are yourself. You deliver your messages in your way. You're unique. You have a different way of seeing things. You have your own way of expressing yourself. You have your own perspectives, your own emotions, your own face, your own hair, your own aura. You know, it doesn't matter who's doing what and how successful they are at it. It doesn't take away from what you could become. It doesn't say, hey, that's it, you're too late, you can't do it, go find something else. No, because whoever they're not reaching, you might be able to reach. You're being, that should inspire you to make a change the way that they're making a change. That, it doesn't mean that you're gonna say what they're saying. It just means that you're gonna say it in your way. You're gonna express yourself how you have lived your life, and you're gonna reach people that they might not be able to reach, because other people might not want to listen to them. Some people might want to listen to me. And that's the same advice I gave to Glenn, and that's the same advice I'm giving to you. If you feel frozen because you don't want to do anything because everybody's doing something, remember that you are your own person. The way that you bless a subject or express yourself or do something in general is tailored to you. You're different. People will, whoever will come across you will like you, and you will impact them in whatever way that they feel impacted by you, specifically by you, and not by the other person you think is doing great or doing better than you. Everybody, it's like, I like to use this analogy. It's like a teacher. You go to school and there's many teachers for a certain subject, but you could sit in a math class for one teacher and not understand jack shit that they're saying, even though it's the same method that they're using to explain something that the other teacher will use. You're gonna go into the other teacher's classroom and say, wow, this teacher, I just understand it better. I understand everything that this teacher's saying, even though it's the same shit that the other teacher was saying. But it's not the same because that person, that new teacher, is speaking directly for me. It is connecting with me. So that's how you have to look at everything in life. It's just do it like you would do it, not like everybody else would do it, no matter if it's the same that everything, even if it's the same thing that everyone else is doing. So that was it. Anyways, besides all of that, I was very lonely. I was driving myself crazy. It got to a point where it was just me, my emotions, and no thoughts. Just base head. I felt like an airhead. Like, where's my inspiration? Where's my drive? Where I feel no purpose. I feel like I'm nobody. Like, why is this happening to me? And I was constantly breaking down. I was crying. I was trying to overcome. I was creating habits. I was creating routines. I was trying to find purpose in life, which was extremely difficult. I started to meditate. No, not meditate. I wasn't meditating at the time. I started to watch videos, read more books, journal a lot. I was journaling so much. Honestly, I'm on my second book, almost going on my third book, and I just started getting back into the rhythm of journaling last year. My first book started last year. I'm almost on my third. So I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I was writing down, which helped relieve a lot of that madness that was going on inside of my head. So I was journaling. I started to do yoga besides working out. I started to wake up without an alarm. I started getting into this rhythm, but every time I found myself rising above water, I also noticed that it wasn't long before I would hit rock bottom again. And I was like, when am I gonna get a break? And I just never seemed to catch this break. And I would try to make videos, and I realized I'm just trying to mask this problem and entertain myself without addressing my issues first. I was just trying to throw myself at my vision without working on myself, without working on what really needed to be worked on, which is my foundation, which is myself. Without working on the foundation, whatever I accomplished throughout this, this negative state that I was in would have crumbled eventually, because I didn't take the opportunity, the time to work on what really mattered, which was myself. So things were very hectic. I felt like a terrible mother. I didn't have enough energy or focus to dedicate time to my daughter. I felt terrible. I felt like I was, in other words, I felt like I was failing in every area. My relationship, my daughter, and everybody around me was just helping me so much. They were just so understanding, so caring. But I just seemed to just mess everything up because of my emotions, because of everything that I was going through. And, that was extremely difficult. Very, very, very difficult. I wish I could make this video longer. I don't, want to drag it on. But, yeah, it was a bunch of ups and downs throughout that process. It wasn't just I disconnected and things started getting better. It was very difficult because I had to face myself. I had to face all my flaws, all my bad qualities, all the things that I was doing wrong in my relationship as a woman, and how it was affecting my husband, my man. I had to really look at myself deeply. And I still am, because the work never stops. We're not perfect beings. And there's always something to work on and improve if you just take the moment to analyze and understand and realize and pay attention. And so that's where the journey began. 2019, I would say 3 months into 2019. 2018, I wrote a book in December. I published it in December. I was gonna host a meet and greet that new year. I think it was February 10th or February 8th, and I canceled that. My excuse was that there was way too many people, which there was way too many people coming. It was like about 300 people attending, but that the thought of so many people coming and me feeling so shitty inside and so like I just didn't want to I didn't want to do life anymore. I didn't want to face that. I didn't want to put on a fake face and be of service for everybody else that was going to be there and not be good with myself. I know that writing a book was a big accomplishment and something that I should have been very happy about, but I really wasn't. It was so much deeper things than the external things to really pay attention to. And it, anything external to me just didn't matter at all, not one bit. So that year I just learned so much, and it wouldn't have happened at all without the ability to get away from everything that was a distraction. July 4th of my birthday, me and Glenn took a road trip that it was just like the universe was talking to me the whole way there, whether it was through billboards, through conversations with me and Glenn, phone calls my mom was giving me, just wisdom I was getting, videos that we were watching along the way that were perfectly tailored to my life and everything that I was going through. And it was like the universe was speaking to me. You're going in the right direction. I'm here. I'm there. You know, just keep going. You're doing the right thing. And all these signs were just back to back to back to back coming to me. That it was like, wow, I understand my life. I understand everything. I understand where my trauma came from. I understand why I have this bad habit. I understand why I'm so aggressive and so angry. I understand this. I understand that. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got a lot of fucking work to do. That's how I felt. Like I just had way too much work to do. But I finally understood. And the misconception that I had was that I understood and that's all I needed. I understand. I get it. Wow, I'm free. Yeah, right. I was far from free. I was far from there. I was only beginning. And the beginning is fully having clarity of everything that was wrong in my life. Now I'm at a place where I have clarity of everything that is right and what I need to do, what is left to do. And this is just the beginning. This is the first video. This was, overview of my disconnection in the beginning of the year. I am going to drop another video letting you know some more details of that year and everything that happened. I'm excited to get to the part where I went to Peru and what I did in Peru, which is very crazy, and I will get into more details about it. But thank you guys so much. Please tell me what is holding you back from getting away from your family members, from your friends, from people that are at your current frequency that you do not like. Sorry, my camera died. So the people that are currently at your that are matching your current frequency, but this frequency is giving you a life that you do not like, is making you feel in ways that you don't like. It's making you act in ways that don't match who you really are and what your soul really is screaming out for. And it's not saying that these people are bad people around you, but they aren't contributing to the higher frequency that you deserve to have. And, they're going to end up going into their own experiences where they're going to reach higher frequencies and become better people. But that's not what they are right now. You have to worry about yourself. You have to be selfish and be better for yourself so that you could be able to exist optimally and contribute positive energy to those around you that will catch that energy and be like, oh my God, ding, 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 that energy matches mine. I want to come into her life and make her better, and we can make each other better. So that's the energy you want. And the only way you can attain that energy is when you remove yourself from the current energies and start dedicating time into making your energy better and your mindset better, and in return that will reflect a better life for you and better people and better experiences. So that's the goal. And I want you to tell me what is holding you back from unfolding and uncovering that and stepping aside from everything that you're currently experiencing so that you could be better. If there's anything holding you back, please comment down below and tell me how you're going to go about it to deal with it. What are your plans? How are you going to, move in that direction? And whatever you want, just comment.